Welcome to Singapore Polytechnic's inaugural Virtual Parents Forum. While the Parents Forum had been the main highlight at SP Open House for many years, this is the first time we are conducting it virtually. I used to be able to meet parents at our annual open house face to face. As much as I would like to do that with you now, we are all constrained by the circumstances we are in these days. Nevertheless, we are undaunted, and so have planned this event virtually. Why? Because it is so important. We want to ensure our prospective students and parents, like yourself, have all the information and resources you need to make an informed choice. This year, we have prepared a video to share with you how SP is keeping pace with the changing world and how we are continuously delivering the most relevant education for our students. I hope you have the opportunity to watch the video. In a few moments, my colleagues will be sharing how the various courses that we offer at SP will position our students for their success in the future. Feel free to engage us. Ask any question that will help you to make an informed decision. Thank you, and I wish you a fruitful time exploring SP's Virtual Open House.
A very good morning to all of you, and welcome to Singapore Poly Virtual Open House. My name is Carol, and I'm going to be the host for today. Now, before I go on, you can take a look at the Pigeonhole QR code. Please do put in your questions through the Pigeonhole QR code, and from there, we will be able to see the questions you would like us to answer, and we will address that during the Q&A session. So, I'm going to go on and show you an infographic video on the admission processes.
Farhan, Jill and Derek are graduating soon and are interested to enroll in their dream course at Singapore Polytechnic, or SP. Are you also interested to join SP but unsure of where or how to begin? Don't worry, let's join Farhan, Jill and Derek to find out more. Farhan will be taking the GCE O-level examination this year. He loves maths and is always curious about how virtual assistants such as Siri work. Farhan has set his sights on SP's Diploma in Applied AI and Analytics. Farhan, you are eligible for the Joint Admissions Exercise, or JAE, conducted in January. During the release of the O-level results, you will receive Form A, which contains your examination results, aggregate scores, and the course codes of all the courses that you are eligible to apply for under JAE. SP courses are listed with a prefix S. Admission to Polytechnic courses is based on meeting the minimum entry requirements, the net EL R2-B2 aggregate score, and the available vacancies. The EL R2-B2 aggregate score refers to the GCE O-level results for English language, 2 relevant subjects, and 2 other best subjects. Farhan has a co-curricular activities grade of excellent. Well done, Farhan! This enables you to deduct 2 points off your raw EL R2-B2 aggregate score. Farhan, are there other courses that you are interested in? You can list up to 12 choices in the JAE Internet system. I know, it's not easy to choose and rank 12 choices. Let me guide you along. As JAE is a merit-based exercise, it is important for you to select your courses carefully. The order of how you list your choices is important. Do utilize all 12 choices. For the first few choices, list your dream courses, even if you do not meet the previous year's JAE range of net EL R2-B2 scores. Remember, this range of aggregate scores is just a reference. For the last few choices, indicate courses which you are confident of securing based on the previous year's JAE range of net EL R2-B2 score. These courses should still be of interest to you. The JAE posting results will be released through SMS and the JAE Internet system. Jill, on the other hand, will be taking her GCE normal academic level examination this year and has been doing well in her studies. She loves interacting with people and would like to enroll in SP's Diploma in Human Resource Management with Psychology. Jill, you sound like the perfect candidate for the Polytechnic Foundation Program, or PFP. This is a one-year program for top normal academic level graduates from MOE schools. Instead of continuing with your O-level examinations in Secondary 5, you can join SP's PFP in preparation for your pre-selected diploma course. When you enroll in this program, you will be offered a provisional place in SP. You will need to pass your foundation year modules to progress to the first year of your diploma course. PFP applications will open in mid-January on the same day the O-level results are released. You will be issued Form P if you are eligible for PFP. Jill, to be eligible for PFP, you need to score a raw EL/MA B3 aggregate score of 12 points or better for your GCE NA level and meet the group eligibility. EL/MA B3 is the combined aggregate score of English language, mathematics, and 3 other best subjects. Since the Diploma in Human Resource Management with Psychology is under Group 2 of the list of PFP courses, you would also have to fulfill the minimum subject requirements under Group 2. You can submit up to 5 PFP course choices in the application. Results of your PFP application will be released on the application website. Derek is a higher NITEC student in his final semester at ITE. He loves watching movies and is fascinated by the cool visual effects in action films. He is currently studying higher NITEC in visual effects and would like to enroll in SP's Diploma in Media, Arts and Design. Derek, you should consider enrolling in SP via the Joint Polytechnic Admissions Exercise, or JPAE, which is conducted in February. To be eligible for JPAE, you need a relevant ITE qualification with a net GPA of 2.0 and above. For NITEC students, a relevant ITE qualification with net GPA of 3.5 and above is needed. CCA bonus points can also be used to improve your GPA ranking for admission consideration. For the JPAE, you may select up to 8 courses of your choice. JPAE posting results will be released on the application website. I hope you now have a better understanding on how to enroll in SP to pursue the course of your choice. SP has many admissions exercises available to learners of all ages. Besides the ones featured here today, there is the Early Admissions Exercise, or EAE, in June for graduating O-level students, ITE students, as well as working adults. There is also the Direct Admissions Exercise, or DAE, for working adults, students with international qualifications, GCE A-level holders, and those who wish to pursue the Diploma in Nautical Studies. Do visit our DAE webpage for the application dates. If you are posted to SP, you will receive an email with the enrollment instructions. For more information on admissions exercises, please visit our SP page below. We hope to see you soon in SP.
Okay, so I hope that infographic video has been useful to you. So before I move on further, there's another teaser trailer for you to watch. This is about the School of Architecture and the Built Environment.
Over the years, our Singapore has transformed from, in the past, the mud flats to the metropolitan city. We are moving away from the traditional construction method, which is very labor intensive, to something that is more digitalized and more collaborative and bringing all the project parties in a more efficient way. Choosing a career in the built environment means, for example, being professionals like the architects, the engineers, quantity surveyors, as well as project manager or developers. So if you love the environment and you want to protect it and develop it further, that's the career that you should join.
For students who join, we have got up-to-date curriculum looking at what the industry needs. They learn from their peers. In SP, they also have a choice to direct their learning, or what we call self-directed learning. I think students, when they join SP, they can get insights about the built environment. So from the design part of architecture, landscape, interior design, all the way to the construction, right? Civil engineering, building of buildings, the maintenance and upkeep, facility management, as well as programming, right? Running events and facilities within the city itself. I think ABE presents a holistic approach to the built environment, and students will be able to learn and pick up these skills and contribute back to the built environment in Singapore, which I think is an amazing opportunity.
So the built environment is a very rewarding profession to be in because you get to design spaces that will form experiences and memories for people. ABE provided me a strong foundation in the technical aspects of architecture, and it helped me hone my sensibilities towards attention to details, and I'm always seeking for perfection in resolution. From my experience, students from ABE have been doing very well in other institutions as they pursue their higher education. That gives the students a lot more confidence and freedom as they pursue the various aspects of architecture.
A very good morning. Thank you for all of you who have taken your time to join in this morning for our Parents Forum webinar. My name is Faris Hajamaidin, and I am the Director of the School of Architecture and the Built Environment. And more importantly for me, I am also a proud alumni of the school. And I welcome you for this session once again. Thanks for taking your time. I think most of you, or many of you who have joined us today, especially parents, you're joining us today because there are many decisions to be made over the next weeks or so, especially in anticipation of the O-levels results, which is going to be released sometimes next week. Some of you may be joining us today because you are thinking of coming to SP via the foundation pathway, Poly foundation pathway, the N-level students who come through the N-level route. And there are also perhaps those of you who are deciding to think about coming into SP with the early admission exercises that will come in place sometime in the middle of the year. Some of you are much younger. You want to make decisions about your futures and your careers sometimes into the future. So today's discussions is a lot about futures, and I would like to set the stage about some of the futures this short session that I have with you. But if you're joining me here, it means that you are thinking of a future in the fields of architecture and the built environment. And what are the futures for yourself academically and in the realm of industry moving forward? Now, before we think about the future, I think it is good to understand what do we mean by the built environment industry in the context of Singapore in the present. And I want to talk a little bit of also the past. Singapore's remarkable growth in the last 50 years or so, it is connected to the idea of the built environment. Just think of the ways in Singapore is represented internationally. What do we think about? The skyline, Changi Airport, the amazing infrastructure of our transport services. If you take a step back and think about how any of this came about, someone has to think of the design, conceptualize it, the architect. The project has to be realized. It has to stand sturdy, the civil engineer. Spaces need to be inhabitable. The interior designer is involved. Singapore is remarkably known for its lush greenery, the landscape architect. Singapore is known for its MICE industry, where events are staged in our buildings. Who manages them? The event managers. And last but not least, buildings need to be livable and maintained and made durable over a course of period of time. Who is in charge of that? The facility managers. So as we think about the current situation and how intertwined the built environment is to Singapore and Singapore's DNA, it is no surprise that several years ago, when Singapore was celebrating its 50th year anniversary and we embarked on imagining our future, we were participating in thinking our future also in the realities of our built environment, how to make spaces better for ourselves and thinking about our future. So in some of this ideation, and the infographics is on the screen right now, we were thinking of the Tuas Megaport. We were thinking of the Tengah housing project, which is going to be a prototype for the future. We were thinking about the expansion of the aviation hub and the Changi Airport, and the critical element of it being the jewel. And as I mentioned in the previous slide, all of these remarkable structures is impacted upon by the architects, the civil engineers, the interior designers, the landscape architects, etc. The idea of the built environment is connected to all these projects. And one of the centerpieces of these great ideas, which was realized sometime last 2 years back, was the jewel. A remarkable piece of architecture and a feat of engineering. It brought many events together, and it brought a lot of crowd and put Singapore Aviation Hub in the map, enhancing our already established reputation. And then COVID hit, and this image is a remarkable and most poignant image. And aviation industry was impacted, tourism industry impacted, and as many of you know, over the last few months, the construction industry was impacted as well. So there must be a thinking right now, what is the future in the built environment? We are thinking of a career here. But remember, your careers are not immediate. We are looking at something 3 years from now, 5 years from now, for boys who are going to serve the national service, or 7 to 8 years from now for those who would be continuing on your future education pathway through the universities. Singapore is not a country to sit back. We always imagine the future, and we have, right? So if you look at the recently released Research Innovation Enterprise 2020 plan, one key pillar there is urban solutions and sustainability. The government is spending the future in urban design and urban planning for the next many years. And by the time many of you, if you come into the program and you graduate, there is a remarkable future in the built environment industry. I want to conclude by saying that there is a particular perception about what the building and construction industry is about. But if you look carefully at this plan, the future of the built environment is in 2 key pillars. And these pillars actually impact most of us in many walks of life. Namely, sustainability, and number 2, technology. The future of built environment crisscrosses these 2 paths. So as you come into the School of Architecture and Built Environment, for those who made the decision, this is how the curriculum is going to be set up. And if I may describe your future career, this is where careers are looking towards you in 3 to 5 and many more years to come. At this point, I'll conclude my presentation, and I'll hand over to my colleague Carol, who will now take you through our individual courses, our academic offerings, and also future progression. Carol, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Faris. Okay. So Dr. Faris have given a very, very good overview on what the built environment is all about. So I'm going to continue to tell you about the 6 courses we have, and all these 6 courses will equip the students with the knowledge that is required to go into the career within the built environment. Okay, so in the School of Architecture and the Built Environment, we are all about creating a sustainable future, and all our curriculum and our courses are revolving around that. Okay, so what is the built environment journey all about? It's about creating, transforming, synergizing, designing, enhancing, and integrating everything that is within the built environment. So we have 6 courses under the School of Architecture and the Built Environment, namely Diploma in Architecture, Diploma in Civil Engineering, Diploma in Landscape Architecture, Diploma in Interior Design, Diploma in Facilities Management, and also Diploma in Integrated Events and Project Management. I've clustered the 6 diplomas into 2 clusters. So the first cluster is all about creativity and the design process. It covers the Diploma in Architecture, the Diploma in Landscape Architecture, and the Diploma in Interior Design. So I'll go have an overview on all these 3 courses first before I move on to the next 3 courses. So I'll start off with the first diploma, which is the Diploma in Architecture. So we are the first full-fledged diploma in Singapore when it comes to architecture. It actually shows a lot because we do have a very long foundation, a very deep foundation and very long legacy when it comes to the Diploma in Architecture. Our collaborations with industry has been there for a very, very long time. So the industry do have a certain expectation on us. Okay. Now, what is great about the Diploma in Architecture from this year onwards, the 3 design diplomas, we are going to have a first year common foundation program. So with this first year common foundation program, the 3 courses will be taking similar modules during their first year before moving on to their specialization. Okay, for this diploma, there is a lot of hands-on opportunity, studio sessions, and also we focus on a lot of critical thinking. Students will have an opportunity to do projects and they will go through critique sessions. So all these critique sessions will prepare them for the future because as future architects, they will be expected to present their designs to clients, their designs to prospective industry players, and they must be able to be presenting that and be confident in explaining their design. So we will prepare them all for that. And we do have a lot of projects with clients, and also we have organized a lot of workshops for visiting professors. And all these visiting professors, be it from local university or foreign university. So the main aim is to get the students prepared and to equip them with more knowledge in the international arena. Now, looking at the career options, I have to be very clear here. The career options that's being listed here is for those who graduate with a diploma in architecture. To be a certified architect, they will still need to move on to the university to get a degree before they can be a certified architect. So if you actually graduate with a diploma in architecture, there are some career options there that is pretty interesting. You can be a fabrication specialist, a visualization specialist, a BIM specialist, other than being an architectural sales executive. So now we're talking about moving on to the university if you want to be a certified architect. There are plenty of opportunity. You can choose to take CET courses, advanced diploma courses, or going into local or foreign universities. There are plenty of degree courses that the students can choose and go into to further their studies. Now I'm going to move on to the Diploma in Landscape Architecture. So what is the Diploma in Landscape Architecture about? It is about designing landscape with synergy. We are talking about the living spaces around us. All the greeneries, all the parks, just swimming pools, whatsoever. So we are a full-fledged landscape architecture diploma. We do not train the student to be horticulturalists. We train them to be a landscape architect. Okay, we train them to design landscapes. So what are the important things that they do go through during their 3 years of courses? There are plenty of projects, again, for this particular course. So they are expected to do a lot of projects, be it for collaboration with the industry or be it on their own to do designs and to propose designs. There are a lot of critique sessions when it comes to assessment too, similar to the diploma in architecture. So with this, they also will get a lot of exposures to prepare and ready them for the work in the future. They will also be trained, or they will get knowledge in plants and also landscape technologies and how to integrate greenery into our environment. So again, these are the career options. For the diploma in landscape architecture, again, for these options, career options, this is based on them graduating with a diploma. If they want to be a certified landscape architect, they do have to move on to the university for that. So for further studies, plenty of opportunity. Again, there are a lot of CET courses, advanced diploma course, university, be it local or foreign universities. So there are plenty of opportunities to go beyond the diploma course that the students can actually move on to. Now, I'm going to move on to the diploma in interior design. So, diploma in interior design is all about designing meaningful and purposeful interior spaces. Residential interior design is only a very, very small part in this diploma. We do teach the students beyond the residential designs. We are looking at designing of retail spaces, looking at designing of corporate spaces, and also we are talking about exhibition spaces. So interior design is a lot more than just residential designs. And our students will be trained to design for all the different types of built environment. So again, this one do take part in the first year Common Foundation program. And we do have a very, very broad-based exposure for the students with regards to the design trends that is out there. They get to participate with live client studio programs, and they do work with our real-life industry partners so that they have that kind of industry exposure before they graduate. There's a lot of hands-on exploratory studio approach. This diploma also do critique sessions for their assessments. Okay. Now, for this particular diploma, we do train them using the design thinking method, and the students will be taught to design using that design thinking method. So when it comes to diploma in interior design, these are the career options out here. So there's some very interesting one that I would like to highlight. For example, visual merchandiser, stage set designer, spatial planner, or even a walkthrough animator. So being a graduate from a diploma in interior design doesn't mean that you are only restricted to going into a career as an interior designer. There are many, many other options that you can look at. So for further studies opportunity, again, there are plenty out there. You can go for CET courses, advanced diploma courses. You can also go for universities, be it local or foreign universities. Now I'm going to move on to the next 3 diplomas. So this is clustered under the diplomas that is handling management and coordination. And it includes the diploma in civil engineering, diploma in facilities management, diploma in events and project management. So I'll start off with the diploma in civil engineering. We are the only diploma in civil engineering in Singapore. So if you want to take a diploma in civil engineering, SP is the place for you. Now, when it comes to civil engineering, it's not only about buildings. We are also talking about roads. We are talking about MRT tracks, tunnels, even water tanks. So all this is under the broad branches of civil engineering. And we will teach the students the various branches. And we do not specialize in just one. We give them an overview of every single one. As mentioned before, we are the first and the only civil engineering diploma. And in terms of career, there are plenty of career opportunities. In fact, Singapore is very lack of civil engineers. So we do help you to equip you with the technical and soft skills that's aligned with the construction industry transformation map. So that is what the future of the construction industry is going to be like in Singapore. So our curriculum are planned around that. So when it comes to career opportunity, there are two different groups here. Now, it really depends on your personality. If you feel that you're a person who likes to be in an office, then the consultancy and design positions will be ideal for you. But if you are one who loves to be up and about, out there, then being a site supervisor or resident technical officer will be good for you. Now, again, I have to highlight that all these career options is based on being a graduate from the Diploma in Civil Engineering. If you wish to be a certified civil engineer, you do have to move on to the university for that. So, further study for this particular diploma. Again, there are CET courses, advanced diploma, and you can go into university, be it local university or overseas university. And for local universities, you do get up to a year of exemption if you come up with a diploma in civil engineering from SP. Now I'm going to move on to the next diploma, which is Diploma in Facilities Management. So facilities management is where integration of spaces, people, and digitalization begins. So as Dr. Faris have mentioned previously, there are plenty of buildings out there, and you need the facilities manager to manage them, to ensure that we have a safe and good environment to work in, to play in. Okay, so for our Diploma in Facilities Management, we do teach the students technical skills, soft skills, and business management skills. To us, the soft skills and business management skills are equally important as the technical skills, because as facilities managers, you're not only looking at the hardware of the building, you need to handle the people who are using the facilities itself. So the people skills are very, very important. There are plenty of industry-linked projects for the students to do, and there are plenty of career opportunities in the various sectors, which means that upon graduation, it doesn't mean that you need to join a facilities company or a building management company. You can choose to work for building owners. You can choose to work in various sectors, various industries. For example, if you enjoy going to Universal Studios, you would like to work over at Universal Studios, you can in fact be part of the facilities management team over at Universal Studios or even at Sentosa. Every single building, every single built environment need a team of facility managers. Now, when it comes to something that is very special about this diploma is upon graduation, on top of the diploma, you do get another 3 additional certificates, which is the Fire Safety Manager Cert, Beef Safe Level 2 Cert, and also the Supervised Construction Work for WSH Cert. All these 3 certificates are very important in the built environment industry. And with all these 3 certs, it actually helps you in your career opportunity. Does it mean that you have to work or study more modules because in order to get this 3? No, because everything is infused into the studies already. It's infused into the curriculum. As long as you pass every module, upon graduation, you'll be able to get the total of 4 certs, the diploma itself plus the 3 professional certs. Now, when it comes to the kind of career opportunity, there are plenty of career options here. So you can move into being a building executive, a customer service executive, or even a fire safety manager. Now, when it comes to further study for this particular diploma, you can choose to go into CET courses, advanced diploma courses, and also university, be it local or overseas. In fact, for the local university in NUS, you do get a 1-year exemption if you want to go into the degree in facility management over at NUS. So that is something that is very enticing too. So I'm going to move on to the diploma in integrated events and project management. So for this diploma, it is all about creating the way events should be. I'm sure all of you are aware that events are everywhere, be it virtual or be it physical. So we do have a lot of events that is, we do give a lot of opportunities to the students to do industry link projects. So they help our clients, or rather the industry partners, in doing a lot of projects and doing a lot of events. So we do equip the students with event management skills and also technical skills. Plenty of career opportunity again, and the teaching technique, actually we use simulator and authentic learning approach, which means a lot of hands-on running of events from year 1 all the way to year 3. And with that, it will really sharpen the students' skills in terms of running events. On top of that, we do teach them how to handle virtual and hybrid events. So with the world today right now, virtual and hybrid events are very, very important, just like what we are doing right now. It is a way and an extra avenue to reach out to our audience. So when it comes to career options, there are plenty of career options again, be it going into the events industry directly or working with corporate companies. Private companies, they also need a lot of expertise from the events graduate in order to help them with their marketing campaigns, with creating awareness through events. So when it comes to further study, you have an opportunity to go and take up CET courses, advanced diploma courses, and also university, either in Singapore or overseas. There are plenty of degrees that they can choose to go into. Now I'm going to move on to the range of marks that is required for the diplomas. Now, as mentioned previously inside the infographic video, that this is just a guideline for you, and this is based on 2020 aggregate range. So you can see on the screen now the 3 aggregate range for the Diploma in Architecture, Diploma in Landscape Architecture, and Diploma in Interior Design. And also listed there are the minimum requirements for the different subjects. So the next cluster will be the management cluster. So you are looking again at the range there. So this will be for Diploma in Civil Engineering, Diploma in Facility Management, and Diploma in Integrated Events and Project Management. So at least this will help you guys, because it will be a guideline for you to look through when you make your choices. Now, just now we said that we have a lot of partnership with the industry, and our students are supposed to go out for internship. So you can see that we have a very wide range of industry partners, and those that you see on the screen are just a small group of them. We have plenty, many more than that. So our collaborations actually includes internship opportunities for our students and also projects collaborations. And we even invite them from industry players to come down and give talks to the students so that they are aware what is happening in the industry and what is the trend like currently that is going on in the industry. So as mentioned earlier, when it comes to further education, there are plenty of opportunities. For local universities, some of our diplomas allow up to a 1-year exemption. And then for some of the foreign universities that we have tied up with, you can get up to 2 years of exemptions. So if you want to find out more about our courses, do go on to our website. From there, you're able to see all the different schools and the different diplomas courses that is available in SP. And if you go into the ABE page, you will be able to find out more about the different individual 6 courses, and also you are able to see the different modules that is being offered there. At least you have an idea what will you be studying if you join us in this diploma itself. Now do join us also on our Facebook. Do go on to the Facebook and like us, and then you will be able to see what are the projects that we have been doing and what are the opportunities that the students have. So you can see on the screen here, these are the different avenues that we can touch base with you, and we are trying to give you more information so that you have a more informed choice when you later on, when you need to choose your courses. So do join us So I'm done with the 6 diplomas. Do join us, and I really hope to see you guys. Now, before we move on to the Q&A session, I would like to show you a little video on our school facilities. Welcome back to our Q&A session. So before I introduce the panelists, perhaps you can take a look at the slide to see the QR code for the pigeonhole. Do put in your questions, and we will be here to help to answer those questions that you have. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Q&A by introduce the panelists. So the first one will be Dr. Faris, which is the Director of School of ABE. And then we have the Deputy Director, which is Mr. Chow King Nam. And then we have another of our Deputy Director over here, which is Ms. Liu Xiang Ling. So before I continue, I would like to just highlight that Mr. Chow is in fact in charge of the 3 diplomas, which is Diploma in Architecture, Diploma in Landscape Architecture, and Diploma in Interior Design.
That's right.
While Ms. Liu is actually in charge of Diploma in Civil Engineering, Diploma in Facilities Management, and also Diploma in Integrated Events and Project Management. So I'm going to move on to the first question. So the first question is something really about the future, like what Faris has mentioned earlier. As Singapore is moving towards digitalization and building a smart city, how will the diplomas prepare the students for the future? So I think I'll get Faris to say a little bit about this.
I think this is an important question as we are also looking into the future, which was a main theme of my presentation. I'll answer this question somewhat differently. A polytechnic education has to have its industry relevance. And this has been the case throughout its entirety of existence over 60 years, which means it needs to understand what is current in the industry and what is upcoming in the industry. So what we do is for our courses, we have an advisory committee which comprises of members and leaders and captains of the industry, of the lead agencies, and also universities, meaning our academic partners. And they're able to share with us what is current and what is needed for our students to be trained, because eventually our students will make up part of the industry who will be articulating also into the university. So based on this, we have been referencing our curriculum on the advice and also on the guidance from the Building and Construction Authority, which is the BCA, which has come up with a 5-year master plan called the Industry Transformation Map. And it is very clear. Digitalization, technology, sustainability, things I spoke about are key. And we have been incorporating those elements in our curriculum for quite some time already. In fact, in a key driver in the BE sector, it's something called the Building Information Management, which is called BIM. The School of Architecture and Built Environment has actually been embarking this and infused this as part of our curriculum almost close to a decade right now. So as this is taking root in the industry, our students are playing a key role in transforming the landscape of built environmental practices. Right. So that's the one way I could answer the question, a kind of broad stroke. So definitely our courses need to be relevant, thus we have responded to the call of the Smart Nation. Yeah.
Yes, so I think Kim Nam, anything to add on?
Yeah, no, I
with regards
wanted
the
to
diploma?
just jump in here and just add on a bit more detail. All the courses, we go through several levels of review of our program. We have external examiners who come in on a 2-year basis. We also have 5-year course reviews. We are constantly in dialogue with the industry partners. When we send the students out for internship also, these are multiple touch points to understand what the industry needs, what is projecting ahead, and we bring all this back into the curriculum and we assess how do we prepare you, the student, to be industry ready when you graduate, which is 3 to 5 years ahead of the time. So what we do now is really always in preparation of trying to prepare you in the best way possible to move into the industry when you graduate, which is much further down the road. Yeah.
Thank you, Kim Nam. Xiang Ling, anything to add for your 3 diplomas under you?
Sure. I think just to add on to what Kim Nam has mentioned, the course will always go for, the review is always ongoing. We will always make sure that we will upkeep our curriculum to equip our students with the skills set and competency that meet the needs of the industry. So we will also bring in some of this technology in the lab so that our students can have some hands-on activity as well. So if you wish to find out in detail the specific area that each course cover, maybe you can join our counseling session later. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Xiang Ling. Now I'm going to go on to the next question. I think this is a question that a lot of parents are very concerned about, definitely. So how many SP graduates go on to local universities? So,
Yeah, I can take it on.
Sure.
Yeah. I think over the last decade or so, the aspiration generally of students, not only in SP, but Polytechnic students in general, is to continue and progress in their studies. Right? May it be as a polytechnic education, as university education or post-diploma certification, etc. So I just want to lay that down. So aspirations are there, they are ongoing, and this is good for all of us concerned. as a kind of a ballpark figure, specifically for the School of Architecture and Built Environment, I would say at the point of graduation, we have about 25 to 30% of our students who articulate into university programs. Keep in mind, because the boys are going to the university, right?
No, national.
Sorry, national service, right? Sorry. And then the boys, when they finished with their national service in next, that means 5 years after entering the course, so 2 years later, I think the number of our graduates entering into university could be 50 to maybe even 70%. I think that's possible.
That's right.
So at the point of graduation, say 5 years after graduation, I would say about 70% of our graduates, at least in this school, are in some type of university program. A higher percentage, I would say, for those university program and some type of postgraduate diploma program.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to also share, I think when we talk about aspirations, I think we have started to see that there are many ways in which one achieves success in their career. And we have actually many of our alumni achieving a high level of success without necessarily going on to do a degree. Some of them through these what we call the postgraduate, the continual learning, upgrading their skills. They have gone on to take on high positions, general managers, directors in many of these firms, and one in particular is actually spearheading the BEAM initiative, co-leading in the BEAM initiative in Singapore. So I think that kind of conversation is something that needs to happen when you start to get a grasp of where you see yourself, projecting yourself in the next 5 to 10 years. But I think, yes, Faris did answer the question of what the percentage might actually be in a ballpark figure. Yeah.
I just want to add on, I think addition to the question is the pathways are opening up, many pathways.
Yes.
More university choices as well locally, right? And then the type of entrances opened up for students also over time has evolved.
Yes.
So the university pathway, I think, somewhat evolved and has expanded over the years. So one can have an aspiration to pursue university education through the Polytechnic. This is not something new. All I'm stressing upon here is it is ongoing and it's growing and it's quite a positive.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Now the next question, this is something everybody will be concerned about. Has COVID-19 affected the future of the graduates? I guess with the pandemic and everything, I guess getting a job, that is a very big concern for the parents. So I don't know, Xiangling, you want to address this?
Okay, I suppose it may have impacted some industry more than the rest. I think one of the industry that is more impacted will be probably the tourism sector. But I just want to assure you that as we mentioned earlier, the course is always undergoing review. So you notice that there's also a move towards organizing virtual events. So the course has also input knowledge and skill set to equip our students with competency to organize hybrid event and the content to beef up a virtual event. So with that, we hope that it will also create opportunity for our students when they move on to the industry.
So
If I may share, impact, yes, but there's two ways to see the impact. One is, I think in the short term, the concern is, I think what the question is asking, will graduates be employed, right? Our internal kind of, at least, survey shows that some impact has been, but the industry has been somewhat more resilient than we had anticipated. So kudos to the industry who are thinking long term. Impact in another way is with regards to use of technology. And as our students have been trained in these technologies, and due to COVID, as Xiangling was mentioning, as we are using new technologies to kind of modify how industry behaves post-COVID, it seems like we've also prepared our students for that. So in that way, yes, COVID has changed, but it may not all be for the negative. It could be to a type of future in the built environment sector, which is quite forward-looking and progressive. And I would like to think that we have prepared our students for that future. Yeah.
I think COVID have in fact pushed the transformation and propelled the industry further in a faster way. So, and we have already been equipping the students with all the skill sets. And I think they are doing quite well, even for the different sectors. And I can see that even for the event sector, they are starting to pick up because everybody have shifted towards more virtual ones. So there are still events going on. It's just a different
like this one,
form.
right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a different form. So job opportunities are still out there. And I can see that the demand is starting to pick up again. Now I'm going to move on to the last questions due to the short time that we have. So can we move into any of the 3 specializations, be it architecture, interior design, or landscape architecture when we wish to further our studies? For example, if I'm a DLA or DID graduate, can I go, and do a degree in architecture? So I think this one, Kim Nam, you have to answer that.
Thank you for the question. In the short answer is yes. The skill sets that you pick up while specific to the course is applicable throughout in terms of analyzing and designing and conceptualizing. So yes, with a strong portfolio, the chances of being able to look at other opportunities, I mean, not just necessarily within design in the built environment per se, to cross over is also a possibility, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I'm so sorry that we cannot address every single question, but don't worry about it because there is a breakout session immediately after this and you are able to ask more questions over there. Our lecturers are on standby right now, so if you have any further questions that you want to clarify, do join us at the breakout session. Those of you who have already signed up for the breakout session, the link will be inside your email. Those of you who have not done that, don't worry, we will be flashing out the QR codes for you to go into the specific breakout sessions for the different diplomas. You can choose to go in there and ask more questions, and our lecturers will be more than happy to help you with that. And if should you want to have one-to-one consultation, we do have that available this afternoon. So please do go onto our website and sign up for the one-to-one session too. So I think we are done right here. So I'm going to say on behalf of the panelists, we are going to say
thank you.
Thank you and
goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Best wishes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.